What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're back again for our Monday Night Raw review for August 13th, 2018. Before we even talk about Monday Night Raw, we have to talk about the elephant in the room and what happened this morning. We got the sad, unfortunate news of the passing of a great legend in Jim the Anvil. The first time I got to really see the Anvil, I think, was in like maybe one or two WCW matches. I was a baby when they had the whole Hurt Foundation. I wasn't alive yet or even a thing when the original Hurt Foundation was around, so I don't know or get to see that much of Jim the Anvil Neidhart as a tag team wrestler with his brother-in-law. I did watch the WWE Network and watch all of the Attitude Era of Monday Night Raw, and before that, when you had Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart pretty much torturing and taking out, going up against Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, when they were the evil villains who came into WWE, into America, and were the foreign heels, and how hot that crowd was, how vicious that crowd was when they were in the U.S., how angry the crowd got. So I really didn't know much about Jim the Anvil. I think he did work in Impact Wrestling show years ago when Jay Lethal was the Black Machismo, and he came through there. But of course, I know more of his daughter, Natty, Natalia, because she's been around for 10 plus years in the WWE, and she's been there the entire time from the Divas, the early portion of the Divas, when you had like Trish and Lita were just leaving or were done. You still had like a Victoria. You had Mickie James, I think, was still there the first time around, and you had Beth Phoenix back when like everything was. They weren't where they were before we started the Divas Revolution and the Women's Evolution. He was there back when matches somewhat mattered still, but not as much as they do now. Well, they should do now. She was there during that entire dark period of the Divas/Women's division where you had 20-second matches. The bell rings, and the next thing you know, the match is over. She was there through all of that. So she is definitely one of those women who's like been a trailblazer for the women's division, and she is definitely probably like her father, a kind-hearted person. I've always heard great things about Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I didn't really get to see him live. I did see how he was when he was in the WWF back in 1995, 6, 7. I think it was 94, 5, 6, and 7, whichever. And he was a great talent then, but that was all I really know of Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I send my condolences to Natty and TJ, as well as their entire and all their family, as well as Bret Hart and the entire Hart family as well. So yeah, bad day for the wrestling business. We just had Nikolai Volkov and Brian Christopher pass away a week and a half ago. So for this to just hit us like that, definitely not fun. It is the wrestling business, and everyone, there's people who die, at least there's someone who in the world who dies like every minute of every day or something like that. So we're all gonna die eventually. Jim Neidhart probably lived a wonderful life. I'm sure he was a great father and husband to his family, and he is missed. He's going to be missed by those who got to see him in his prime. Unlike me, who was 7 or 8 when I started watching wrestling, and I was watching WCW, so I really didn't get to see Jim the Anvil Neidhart in his prime or past his prime when he was in the Attitude Era. So, rest in peace, Anvil, and we'll all be there with you eventually. The show we had, tonight's show was the Go Home Show to, this is Raw side of the Go Home Show to SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar was in the building. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Him and Paul Heyman pretty much played Roman Reigns for a fool and made him and humiliated him as always, and again showing me that Brock Lesnar, I don't care how many spears, how many Superman punches he hits, I don't care how many F5s he kicks out of, you are not going to make me believe that Roman Reigns is capable of beating Brock Lesnar. It's just not going to happen. I would much believe a John Cena, Triple H, or The Rock coming back to face a Brock Lesnar and beating him. The only two superstars, I'd say three maybe if you wanted to give him this one too, the only 2 or 3 superstars that could beat Brock Lesnar legitimately are Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and possibly a Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins is just that damn good. One of the running themes for tonight's show was because Seth Rollins was in China this past week. He was over in Shanghai promoting the WWE's tour of China on September 1st when they have a show over there, which is going to be John Cena's first match back with the WWE this year since, Greatest Royal Rumble against Triple H. So yeah, the whole theme of this show was that there has been traveling issues for Seth Rollins, and he's not even in the building yet, which turned out to be a ruse, and it brought back what everybody said was going to be coming back, and that was Dean Ambrose. And my word, what a change 9 months brings, because Dean Ambrose looked like he just got out of prison. I am not pulling no jokes. It looked like this dude was just out of the asylum or something himself. This dude comes out. I'm gonna get to every other stuff in the show, but this dude comes out, short hair. We all remember seeing the curly or that stringy hair that he would have, that messed up looking wavy hair that he has, gone. He has short hair, beard, mustache. He looks like he is just ready to kill somebody. And is it me, or does this guy look like he's put on a little bit of muscle? Dean Ambrose looks like, is that really Dean Ambrose? Wow. Just, wow, the guy don't even look like him. He looks like, and I'm going to say this, he looks like he's preparing for a heel turn. Dean Ambrose, as this Dean Ambrose, looks like he's going to be somebody who is probably going to turn on Seth Rollins at SummerSlam like that. And we're going to get a heel Dean Ambrose. And if he looks like this, if he comes in to turn heel on Seth Rollins like this, he has the makings of looking like one badass heel. The show opened up with Ronda Rousey, though, paying tribute to Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart and the Neidhart family. It is one of those things. We'll play all that stuff in a minute. But then we got Alexa Bliss versus Ember Moon. And originally, before Jim Neidhart passed away, it was supposed to be Natalya versus Alexa Bliss tonight. That did not happen, of course, because of the circumstances with her family, and it's very understandable. We had Baron Corbin versus Tyler Breeze, which Baron Corbin won this match with the Deep Six. This match, the finish of this match was like when we had Sami Zayn win with a Blue Thunder Bomb earlier this year in February or something. Not something you see you probably ever see, and it's always nice to see them change it up when they win a match. Then we had Finn Balor and Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens. It was supposed to be a 2-on-1 handicap match because I guess Baron Corbin went over turning his head and suggesting matches to Stephanie for him and Finn Balor tonight to get themselves prepared for their match at SummerSlam. So yeah, he made a 2-on-1 handicap match, which Kurt Angle, of course, made it a tag team match. Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. I don't even have to tell you who won that match. Then we had Bobby Lashley. I don't know who thought this was funny. We had this dude. I have no idea, but this dude come out. I don't remember the guy's name. That's how irrelevant he was. Comes out in jeans, whatever those chaps. Yeah, chaps. A leather vest, a cowboy hat, and a guitar. Oh my God, what the hell are we doing? Let's just say he got squashed by Bobby Lashley after, it wasn't even a match. The dude hits him in the back. Elias was out there and he talked to the kid. He was saying that, you'll do me proud if you embarrass and defeat Bobby Lashley. Come on, really? But he hits Bobby Lashley in the back with a guitar, and Bobby Lashley no-sells this guitar and just destroys the kid. Not even worth it. Then we get the Revival versus the Leader of Worlds versus the B-Team Raw Tag Team title matches. Raw Tag Team title triple threat match. And I'm going to say this now. The B-Team, 1, have music that is settled for jobbers. 2, they are as paper champions come. They have not won a match that has not been by fluke victory or stealing a victory like they did tonight in this triple threat match. They are the antithesis, I think that's the right word to use, the antithesis of Jobber's team, and they're your Raw Tag Team Champions. They either have the team, it's like in singles matches leading up to them winning the tag team titles, which they should have never done. They won matches against Matt Hardy because he kept making fluky mistakes. Then they win the tag team titles because Matt gets pushed in the bray, and then it's just they're a terrible team. And then they win this match by stealing the victory, and then they celebrate like they just won the World Cup or something. It's just pathetic. You have two third-generation superstars making asses out of themselves on a weekly basis. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, and Kurt Henning's got to be rolling in his grave. Larry the Axe Henning, if he sits and watches this show, is like, what is this? What is my grandson doing? He looks like a buffoon. I mean, come on. You got these two looking like total idiots out there, and they're your Raw Tag Team Champions. Meanwhile, we have the Authors of Pain and Bobby Roode take on Titus Worldwide. Well, I'm sorry. Authors of Pain and Mojo Rawley take on Titus Worldwide and Bobby Roode in a six-man tag match that all six men got jobber entrances. I believe they were doing the Jim Neidhart's tribute. They were doing the Jim Neidhart tribute. We go back to, I think this is when it happened. We go back to Renee Young, which she did a damn good job, better than we've had for Coach in a while. And like you see Renee Young, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves talking, and all you hear is ding, 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 and we go to the ring, and there's a six-man tag match going on. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was happening. What are they doing? The Authors of Pain buried, the Bobby Roode buried, the Titus Worldwide irrelevant, and all six men in this match are irrelevant more now than they were before this match. It made no sense to even have this match on Monday Night Raw, yet that's what they decided to do. Made no sense to me. We had a promo for Roman Reigns, who ended up getting interrupted by Paul Heyman, in which Paul Heyman tried to offer his services to Roman Reigns, even brought up Alpha and Sika of the Wild Samoans, trying to, get him to accept his offer. It was all a ruse, and Roman Reigns gets pepper sprayed. Brock Lesnar comes out and beats the holy hell out of him. Again, you are not going to make me believe that Brock Lesnar is going to get beat by Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. It's just not happening. What else happened tonight that was good? Nothing. Nothing was really good on this show. Let me see here. We had Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott, which was a pretty decent match. And then we had the contract signing at the end, which was mostly just Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler cutting two really good promos. Two damn good promos, and showing why these guys are good on the mic and why I want to see Drew McIntyre be in the Universal title hunt once that title gets back on Monday Night Raw. But like I said, Ronda Rousey opened the show to honor Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And yes, this of course would lead to a match between Ember Moon and Alexa Bliss. Ember Moon, of course, replacing Natalya in her match due to the death of her father. I'm trying to get this thing to load up. WWE's just like, this is, and WWE's had a piss poor time when it came to Extreme Rules and Money in the Bank, to remind you that there was a pay-per-view happening on Sunday. They spent every single match tonight, I swear it, every single match tonight, we had they went to the picture-in-picture and they advertised a match for SummerSlam. Then, of course, what I was really surprised was that, before we get to this promo, what I was really surprised is that, when was the last time WWE actually went out of the way to advertise an NXT TakeOver? They didn't do it at SummerSlam. They didn't do it at WrestleMania this year. They didn't do it they didn't do it for New Orleans. They didn't do it for Philadelphia. They didn't do it for wherever Survivor Series was last year. But yet they did it for TakeOver Brooklyn 4, which of course is the WrestleMania of TakeOvers for NXT, but it was just really peculiar that they decided to finally advertise an NXT takeover. But here's Ronda Rousey paying tribute to Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Today, Talia's father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, passed away. Any loss is heartbreaking, but to lose a father, our fathers are pillars of strength in a hostile world. Our reassurance that everything is going to be okay. But when that reassurance is ripped away, we have to face the fact that our fathers have been raising us to be the pillars of strength our families need when they're gone. Stay strong, Natalia Neidhart. We all love you.
He would end up introducing Ember Moon to be the one to take on Alexa Bliss. Which, when was the last time we saw Ember Moon? Last time I saw her, I believe, was like 3 weeks ago when she took on members of the Riot Squad while Bayley and Sasha Banks were in therapy. So it was great to see Ember Moon back after a 3 weeks break, which is fine. It does suck to know that Ember Moon will not be at SummerSlam because, I mean, look at last year. We had Ember Moon versus Asuka at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 in the best women's match of 2017 for WWE. I'm not saying it's the best women's match of all wrestling last year, but in WWE standards, yes, it was. So Alexa Bliss is supposed to take her on. She comes out with her own personal security because she was like, oh, well, look at Kurt Angle. He favors everyone else but me. He sends Roman Reigns home so he can't be hurt when Brock Lesnar comes out for the Universal title match. But when it comes to me, he puts me in a match with this person or that person. So I talked to Constable Baron Corbin, and I have security for me. They all come down. Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox, who's dressed like I don't even know what she was supposed to be. Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox, and the 4 security members. They get in between Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey starts to leave the ring. She's talking to Ember Moon. They, high five. She turns around. She says something to the crowd, and Alexa Bliss comes from behind and pushes Ember Moon into Ronda Rousey. Then Ronda Rousey takes off Piper's jacket because, yes, she is still using Roddy Piper's jacket, if anybody didn't know that. She takes off Piper's jacket, gets in the ring and just beats. She judo flips one, starts punching another, judo flips the another one, and then the poor last soul that was in the ring just has this look of I'm dead, I'm really really dead, and before she can even step to him, he is out of the ring. So we got Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss, the more and more I see Alexa Bliss wrestle, the more and more the rumors come out that she is a pussy. She does not want to sit there and actually wrestle. She hates taking bumps. It becomes more and more apparent. She sucks in the ring. She's like regressing on the mic. She's not good at all. I don't care what her ass looks like. I don't care what her tits look like. I don't care what kind of hair she has. If you can't perform well in the ring, and you can't perform well on the mic, get the fuck off my show. And that just shows me again that Ronda Rousey needs to come in, bell ring, judo flip her, put her in the armbar, tap her out, and that is it. That is all I want to see at SummerSlam. Anything else, you're really fucking up. Ember Moon ends up winning this match by DQ after she hits the Eclipse. Before the Eclipse happened, Alicia Fox gets on the apron trying to stop Alicia Fox, not Alicia Fox, but Ember Moon, and not Ruby Riott, Ronda Rousey pulls her down and throws her into the barricade. Alexa Bliss comes out of the ring and throws Ronda Rousey into another part of the barricade, goes back inside, eats an eclipse. 1-2, Fox comes in, breaks it up poorly. It was a very bad botch. I think she's been taking lessons from Dana Botch or Dana Brooke on how to be a terrible, how to botch badly, because that breakup of the pin was terrible. Ref counts the bell. Alicia Fox starts beating on, going after Ember Moon. In comes Ronda Rousey, who flips her once or twice, I believe, and she just gets out of dodge. So that is your Raw Women's Championship match at SummerSlam. Again, Ronda Rousey must win this match in 30 seconds or less. Before we go anywhere, I know they announced this later, but 2 of the 3 kickoff matches, because we'll get to the third one later, are the Lana and Rusev versus Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas. And they also, because of course it was going to be on the pre-show, even though they deserved to be on the main show, Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship will happen on the kickoff show. You're still disrespecting. This is the first time since the Greatest Royal Rumble that the Cruiserweight Championship has been defended on a pay-per-view. It wasn't at Money in the Bank, it wasn't at Extreme Rules, and it wasn't at Backlash. Why is this title not defended every single pay-per-view? The last time Cedric Alexander even defended the title was 2 or 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, against, I believe, Hideo Itami on 205 Live. I know you're doing an all-women's pay-per-view coming up in, like, October. We're going to get an all-cruiserweight pay-per-view, even though I know they only have one title. If we get the tag titles, different story. But this title should always be defended. I think you're doing the title a disservice by only having it on the Big Four. Because you know it'll probably be at Survivor Series, and it's always going to be on the pre-show too, which is terrible. The last time, and this is sad, the last time the Cruiserweight Championship was defended on pay-per-view was when Enzo Amore had it. Let that one sink in. Let that one sink into you. Let's see what happens here. We had Baron Corbin versus Tyler Breeze. Let's go Corbin. Corbin sucks chant during this match, and Corbin's like, your chance abused me. Yeah, just keep it up. Like, Baron Corbin, I like Baron Corbin in NXT because when Baron Corbin started in NXT as a guy who is, like, I mean, they were going to push this guy somewhat, not to championship level, but to push somebody, people would count how long his matches would last. They would last, like, 10 to 30 seconds. Well, when he started to, be more of a dickish heel, like, he would just sit there and soak in the booze, and just love every second of it. I love that about Baron Corbin's character. He just sits there, and the booze don't get to him. One of the biggest problems with WWE, I'm getting off track here, but one of the biggest problems with WWE superstars that are heels is that there's a lot of times that the people as heels don't want to be a heel because they don't want to get booed. They don't want to take that, they don't want to take the heat from doing something heelish. That's why you see a lot of heels that just don't make any sense. If you want to be a heel in the wrestling business, you have to embrace the heel completely. Back in 2002, it was, I think, when you had the Un-Americans, Christian, Test, Lance Storm, and eventually William Regal. Like, William Regal loved being a heel. He loved taking that heat, but like Test and Christian and Lance Storm did not want to do half of what WWE wanted to do with that stable because they didn't want to get booed so heavily. That's just an example. Baron Corbin is one of those guys who loves being a heel and would say whatever he wants and do whatever he wants, and then he'll just sit there and bask in the heat. He is a heat magnet, and he loves taking the heat. It is one of the things about Baron Corbin that I love as his character is that he just takes the heat and gives no fucks. Actually won this match with a deep six. I was really surprised. Really, really surprised about that. I've never seen him win a match with a deep six. It was a sloppy deep six. I've seen better ones than that. Tyler Breeze did get some offense on here, but he's just a jobber to the stars right now. Post-match, Corbin said, "Wow, I am good, and that's a small taste of what I'm going to do to Finn Balor. Now it's time for Finn to show us what he can do," and brings out Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens. It was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Mahal and Kevin Owens. But Kurt Angle comes to the stage and says, this is going to be a tag team match, player. He didn't say player, but you know. And brings out Braun Strowman, Jinder Mahal, and Kevin Owens take on Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. Winners were Strowman and Balor. This match was just Balor takes the heat, Braun Strowman comes in, the other guys want nothing to do with him, and eventually and Jinder Mahal takes the pin. Post-match, Braun Strowman runs off Kevin Owens, and out of nowhere, Corbin comes from behind to hit Finn Balor with a end of days, just boom, out of nowhere. Bobby Lashley versus some jobber. I did not like this one bit. This was just like, as I said, you had, I don't know what the kid's name was. I don't even care what the kid's name was. But he was in slacks, jeans and not slacks, but jeans and chaps, and looked like a cowboy with like a jean jacket and a vest over top of it with the cowboy hat and the guitar. And he's like, my favorite artist is WWE's own Elias. This is the thing. You have Elias and Bobby Lashley feuding, and they don't have a match at SummerSlam. They have not made this a match at SummerSlam. So may I ask, what is the point of having these guys like have a little feud if they're not even going to be at SummerSlam? What is the freaking point? Are we going to skip SummerSlam for these two and go to Hell in a Cell? What? How much more are you going to do with these guys? There's really nothing else to do for them. There's just, I don't understand why you're even having this. It makes no sense to me why they're even doing this. But anyway, Bobby Lashley comes in. He says something. He says, like, you might want to change your shtick, man. We already have a no talent in the sack up there. But let's do this. And Bobby Lashley gets hit from behind with the guitar. No sells it. Spinebuster, and that was that. Elias walks off in disgust as he was up on the stage watching from a distance. The Revival versus the Leader of the Worlds versus the B Team Raw Tag Team Titles match. The B Team wrestled. Not even wrestled. Bo Dallas wrestled maybe the first 2 minutes of this match. He gets tagged out by, I believe, Matt Hardy, and then it was a Revival versus the Leader of Worlds. Axel did not get in this match until the finish. At all. The finish came when one of the Revival members, I think it was Dawson, gets tagged in by Axel. The Revival hit the Shadow Machine, and Axel throws the Revival member off and throws him into his buddy on the outside. And 1, 2, 3, the B Team retain their tag team titles in the shittiest, most anticlimactic way you probably could. And then you have these guys, like you have Renee Young, this is the one thing, and like she's like, oh, this isn't luck on this side, these guys are good. They haven't won a match legitimately. It's been fluke after fluke after fluke after fluke. It's like, are you kidding me? This was just pathetic on all ends. Just no reason for this match to happen tonight. You had them doing that for absolutely no reason. But then you just piss people off. It was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. That we had to sit there through that. Just enough. Then we had Roman Reigns come out for a promo, and the very first thing he said irked me a little bit. He said, leave this place better than I found it. Leave this place better than I found it. Really? Because I remember those exact words coming out of John Cena's mouth. What was it? 10, 15 years ago? He wants to leave WWE in a better place than he found it. Financially? Yeah, succeeded. Creatively? Hell no. John Cena and Roman Reigns are two of the reasons why over the last 10, 15 years, as we go through, first it was Cena, now it's Roman, why WWE is in, on Monday Night Raw for sure now, is in such a creative shithole. You can't just put your eggs in one basket, Vince. Look what it's doing to your Monday Night Raw. It sucks. Monday Night Raw sucks. Tonight's show was not awful, but it wasn't good either. Not at all. This was actually It felt like it should have been a go-home show, but then it didn't feel like it was a go-home show. I'm pretty sure SmackDown will do a lot better tomorrow for that. But WWE just, like, outside of the two biggest pops of the night, and it shows that WWE needs to get their shit together. The two biggest pops of the night were Braun Strowman and Dean Ambrose, which, of course, anytime somebody comes back from an injury, like Dean Ambrose did, fans are going to go batshit crazy for you. You can be the biggest, nastiest heel in the world, come back from an injury, and the crowd's going to go crazy. I mean, Randy Orton, when he came back from his injury, the crowd was cheering until he decided to kick, the balls in of our friend Jeff Hardy. But he says he can't leave it in a better place while Brock Lesnar's champion. WWE with their vocal, like their crowd noise manipulation, is honestly petty. You can clearly hear boos. I don't know how they do it, but you can clearly hear boos in the crowd that is stifled by Kevin Dunn and his crew, while the cheers are amplified to make it sound like Roman Reigns is over. Yet when Brock Lesnar hits him with an F5 later, you hear one more time, one more time, one more time. This promo, this whole entire thing was just pathetic. Absolutely 100% pathetic. Just WWE pushing the Roman political agenda again and again. Paul Heyman comes out, and he's trying to, play the, oh, well, it's a new day, and the Usos are the future of the tag team division. He had to talk about SmackDown for whatever reason, because, yes, it's a better show. And he brings up, he says, you can't beat Brock Lesnar unless, and here's the drop of the hat, unless I give you every single dirty little secret of Brock Lesnar's. You can go into this match well prepared. Of course, Roman Reigns turns him down, and he said something to the effect that his father taught him. He was bred for this. He was bred in this business years ago, long ago, when he was a child. Which, if you're Samoan, if you're from the Onawara's family, you are bred for the wrestling business. They are like one of the biggest wrestling families out there still. But he says that my dad taught me how to deal with sharks in this business and to look out for ones that are drowning. And Paul Heyman, you're drowning. So, and you're not worth saving. Paul Heyman then says, you know what? You're right. I'm drowning in information that your father and uncle taught me when I was a kid. And he spoke in some Samoan language, which stunned or had Roman perplexed. He grabs it. Paul Heyman pulls this paper out, this folded paper out of his pocket, hands it to Roman, and says, "Look this over and give me your answer at SummerSlam." Roman opens this paper and starts looking at it. I can't even see what it actually says. And then Paul Heyman, out of nowhere, has a bottle of mace and just starts spraying Roman Reigns in the eyes, blinding him. Paul Heyman leaves the ring after a couple minutes, a minute or two, blinding him. And Brock Lesnar's music hits. Brock is actually here. Brock comes down and beats the holy hell out of Roman Reigns again and again. So, after that, he goes back up, he comes back down, hits an F5, and you get one more time from the crowd. You can actually hear one more time, which, again, was muffled as best as they could. But WWE, this is going to fail. We're not going to be in Pensacola, Florida, or Miami, Florida, or any Florida in place. And there's not going to be cheers for Roman Reigns. If this match goes on last, you are asking for the worst outcome of all time for you. Again, you cannot make me believe that Roman Reigns can beat Brock Lesnar. It just is unbelievable. I can't believe it. If we come out of SummerSlam and Roman Reigns is your Universal Champion, it will be the most unbelievable finish in all of WWE. Unless you truly have Paul Heyman turn his back on Brock Lesnar, I will not for the life of me believe that Roman Reigns can win this match on his own. And then we had, out of nowhere, AOP and Mojo Rawley versus Titus Worldwide and Bobby Roode, all with jobber entrances, because they were all in the ring as the match started. Winners were Roode and Titus Worldwide via a glorious DDT to Mojo Rawley. Do you care? No. I know I don't. I honestly don't. I don't care about this match because
here's my thing: when a group of superstars, or it's like an entire match in this day and age on Monday Night Raw starts from commercial break with no entrances and nobody was out in the ring, then you're just telling me not to care about this match. So, like, say we have Ruby Riott and Ember Moon having a match. Like, we go to commercial break, nobody's in the ring. We come back, and you see Ember Moon and Ruby Riott in the ring, and the bell rings. Why should I care about this match? You didn't give me a reason to care. I didn't know this match was happening, so why should I care? That's how I felt tonight when that match happened. It's like, okay, we have a 6-man tag match for whatever reason. Just WWE, again, burying talent. AOP should be treated better. Bobby Roode should be a heel and be treated better. Fuck Titus Worldwide, neither one of them matter, and so does neither does Mojo Raleigh. Then they did the celebration of Jim Neidhart, so this happened before that. Then they named the Revival versus the B-Team for the SummerSlam kickoff show. So that is 3 matches for the kickoff show, which will be an extra hour long. Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott wins this with a roll-up after Liv Morgan pulls Sasha Banks out of the ring, or gets her out of the ring, or tries to do something. Sasha Banks comes down, and then Bayley ends up taking her out. Sasha Banks goes up to get back into the ring. She gets kicked in the knee or something, and Ruby Riott just rolls her up for the 1-2-3. Like I said, they had the running theme for the night that Seth Rollins was going to be late for this entire thing. Haven't seen him, haven't heard from him. They don't know what's going on. When all in all, it was a ruse for the return of the Lunatic, who, my goodness, I don't know what they did. I don't know. It just feels like that they had them give us a new look of Dean Ambrose because he's not going to be babyface for long. It just when you come back from an injury and you have such a makeover. I mean, if he would have grew the hair out, like the beard and mustache out, but kept the curly hair or his hair, I would have been like, okay, nothing big there. But definitely, like, it's very suspicious that they have this guy come back with a buzz cut, like someone, like it's like he had his wife Renee go into the back and just cut his hair off of him, or have somebody buzz his hair, and then while he was growing his beard out, so like he looks like if he had a couple prison tattoos, the dude would like somebody who just came out of prison. I'm just saying. But before that, you had Kurt Angle come out. He was like, I'm not going to suspend Brock Lesnar. He was just buying time to try and get Seth Rollins to get here as soon as he can. Says, I'm not going to suspend Brock Lesnar. It was a heinous act. I want Roman Reigns to go out and kick his ass. Then, of course, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out. Drew cuts a very passionate promo about how we came to Monday Night Raw to get rid of the complacency. We respect Seth Rollins because this guy goes out there every single night, to prove that he is the man, that he is that damn good, and that pushed us to be that much better. Dolph Ziggler then says, Seth Rollins was that damn good, but it was also his undoing because we come in and we are the show, and it's just going to be like everyone else. You love that he burned, the fans love when he burns it down. But at one time, you used to love when I would steal the show. I don't care about stealing the show now because I have somebody who washes my back, who does not ride my coattails, who pushes me and eggs me on to be better than I was the day before. Both promos are absolutely wonderful, great. They both cut some great promos. Dolph Ziggler says, this has got to be it. Kurt Angle calls for Seth Rollins twice and nothing. So with a disgruntled look on his face, hands over the contract. Dolph Ziggler signs and it says, "We are done." So as soon as he signs the contract, Seth Rollins makes his way out to the stage and says, "Whoa! I didn't want to come. I've been here for a while. I just didn't want to come out until you signed the contract because I didn't want you to change your mind." And I was dealing with travel problems, but it wasn't mine. And since you're going to have a psychopath in your corner, I figured I should have a lunatic in mine. And then, of course, the Ambrose music hits, and again, the guy who looked like he just came from cell block 8 makes his way out here, and I hope he keeps the beard and mustache. I hope he has like a small mustache, but I hope he keeps the scruffy beard and the short hair. This is definitely a hell of a look. It definitely makes him look different than it did back when he was boring and bland. Hopefully this will be a new edge to Dean Ambrose, but definitely worth it. They go in the ring and they brawl with Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, both sending them reeling, and Dean Ambrose grabs the contract and hands it to Seth, who signs it. They hand it off to Kurt Angle. They do the Shield fist, and on closes tonight. So we had ourselves not a really good show. It wasn't an awful show, but it wasn't a great show. Outside of the Lunatic coming back, not really much here. I mean, yes, we got to see. Yes, it would have been really intriguing to see what happened if Paul Heyman handed in that paper and we get the SummerSlam. That would have been intriguing because you would have had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You would have had 6 days for us to wonder what is going to happen at SummerSlam between Roman and Paul Heyman. But no, killed it like that. It was all a ruse. It was all a ruse to play with the heart of everyone. I will give it up to Renee Young. She did have a hell of a show tonight. She was leagues better than Jonathan Coachman, for sure. Didn't have to hear that stupid one word. Didn't have to hear bland, boring shit from him. Didn't have to hear Jonathan Coachman just talking about shit that makes absolutely no sense and then get called out on it by Corey Graves and Michael Cole. It was a nice change of pace, and it was great to see. Maybe we can have him be on assignment, have him go to SmackDown and get rid of Byron Saxton, and you can have Renee Young on Monday Night Raw. It was like, yes, there's been a lot of first-time evers this year, and it did not surprise me that they got another one out again. And then we have the all-women's pay-per-view. We have the Mae Young Classic coming. I'm pretty sure Renee Young's going to be on commentary for the all-women's pay-per-view along with Beth Phoenix, which, honestly, I think it should just be those two. Don't give us a guy at all. If you say all-women's pay-per-view, then it's an all-women's pay-per-view. No dudes, except for the people who work in the back, of course. But the people up front, that is it. Just women. No men. You have at least 2 female referees. Give a couple more if you can. But, yeah. Definitely, she passes with me, Renee Young. She's definitely one of those ones that is like, it was her only first time doing it on Monday Night Raw, and her first time being a commentator since, I think, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, maybe? I don't remember what TakeOver she did and a couple of NXT tapings, but it's been a while. It's been at least 2-3 years. So I would definitely say if she was to do this on a more regular basis and she was able to be herself and not a mindless zombie by having Vince McMahon tell her what she has to say in her ear, then Renee Young would be. I would be fine with Renee Young as the second or third commentator on Monday Night Raw. I think that it would be a nice change of pace, and it would actually help fuel the women's evolution, because you would have a woman on Monday Night Raw on a regular basis compared to what it's always just been guys. I mean, yes, you have the guest commentators like the women when they're like feuding with somebody, but to have Renee Young herself or a female herself be on Monday Night Raw over Coach would actually. I'm surprised after tonight, I would not be surprised if Renee Young becomes the permanent of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live one way or another. It would be interesting to see. And it would just, like I said, it would take her, she would just have to be at the job to be a lot more refined. She did have a couple hiccups here and there, just like anyone else who hasn't either done this before on a regular basis or hasn't done it in a while. So, good job on Renee. Let's see what happens. Quite honestly, I think Coach should not even be at SummerSlam, and she can call the Raw side with the guys. That's the next step for WWE. Because, yes, they have the all-women's pay-per-view coming up. But it would not surprise me if you would have, at SummerSlam, on the Raw or SmackDown side, you would have Renee Young in calling the entire show or half of the show. Just because it would make sense. Maybe you have Corey Graves miss a match or two, and you have Renee Young call the matches instead with everybody else. I don't know if they're the same thing, but yeah, it would be interesting to see what they do. I could see them putting I would, if I was WWE, I would have Renee Young be on SummerSlam, like on the kickoff show at least, because I know we had the Mae Young Classic, and I'm sure she killed it there. But that's taped. We're going on a live pay-per-view on Sunday. So just to give her a little bit more refinedness to her craft in the commentary booth, because I have no doubt she'll probably be one of the commentators for the all-women's pay-per-view at WWE Evolution, and it would just be great for her to do. Maybe get a Beth Phoenix in there at Hell in a Cell. Just change it up. Get rid of, change it up for the pay-per-views. Have Renee Young work a pay-per-view. We'll see. I know I got a little rant in there, but I would like to see Renee Young get a little bit more opportunities. But that is going to be all for your Monday Night Raw review. Make sure to hit that follow button, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, or dislike it. Go over to twitch.tv/TheFrance08 and Twitter/TheFrance find me on Twitter at TheFrance and twitch.tv/TheFrance08. Make sure to hit that follow button over on both of those, and I will see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live. Until then, thank you guys for watching Unscripted this past Saturday, and I will see you guys tomorrow.